Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh,
Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem HaKadosh.
Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone for teaching us truth, and salutations to the sincere Akim and Akwa that may listen. May the blessing of election be over your house. So today we're just going to go into a bit about current events, and the whole situation with Kyrie Irving is something that's it's a hot topic at the moment. So we came across this article on Sportsnet because essentially what they're doing to Kyrie is something very, very similar to what they did to Kanye, I should say. And Kanye had this. I think at some point he was a billionaire, and then eventually when he made all those tweets like the DEFCON on Jewish people, eventually all these what do you call them, like companies that he had endorsements with, like Adidas, Skechers, and other companies I'm not too sure about, they eventually started to like cut ties with him, right?
And his so-called friends.
Khan, exactly. Oh, and his wife too. His wife too.
She'd already cut that.
yeah, but it just revealed the character in these people, because these people are really not, they weren't really with him in the first place, right?
Only if he was in the same boat.
Yeah, Khan, which just speaks more about the kind of character in regards to people. Actually, as a matter of fact, I just got one quick script on that, and then you could bring out the article, because you realize who's really close to you in those moments. This is Ecclesiasticus 12:8, and it reads, "A friend cannot be known in prosperity, and an enemy cannot be hidden in adversity. In prosperity of a man, enemies will be grieved, but in his adversity, even a friend will depart." Right? So even the situation with Kanye at the moment, this moment in adversity is exposing who his real friends are and who's not really with him at all, to be honest with you, right? But if you want, you could bring out the article and then we'll see where the spirit takes us.
Because most of these guys are just writing on that. Oh, he's crazy. He's crazy.
Yeah, exactly.
They've already been calling crazy for a while, but that's just because they put him through so much up there. Those guys been driving him crazy.
Hollywood is successful, eh?
Yeah, Khan. I forgot what the meaning of the word Hollywood is.
Oh, I can find it I could find it for you as you're reading the article.
I think that could actually be a whole different topic, but yeah, the Brooklyn Nets have told Kyrie that he must meet 6 requirements to return to the team, the Athletic Shams Kanye reports. The items are Irving must apologize for posting a link to a documentary containing anti-Semitic material. He also must condemn the movie. Irving must make $500,000 donation to an anti-hate causes, which is probably just going in whoever knows money pocket. Irving must receive sensitivity training.
Whatever that means.
Irving must take training to educate himself on anti-Semitism. Irving must meet the Anti-Defamation League and Jewish leaders. Irving must meet with net owner Joseph Tsai to demonstrate his understanding of the issues. The Nets suspend Irving for at least 5 games without pay on Thursday. Nike also has suspended its relationship with Irving. So they're just showing their control over the slave, because the slave tried to step out of line, and they're showing him, if you step out of line, this is just a little bit of what we can do. Exactly. Making him jump through these hoops for no reason.
Yeah, no pun intended.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Because he didn't even really say anything.
Exactly. He's really like scratching the surface, and it really just goes to show who's really in power. It's these so-called, these small hats that are controlling the media, the narrative. And another thing too, Apostle Gabar brought out this video recently about, a lot of these executives that they are the ones who recruit a lot of us Israelites, to make these record deals. But in this case, Kyrie Irving, it's a basketball contract, but it's the same thing, right? And one of the important points that he brought out was the fact that, They want us to do these things, and then these things eventually start to become a lot more perverse. Eventually you start to sell out. A lot of Israelites, they begin to sell out, and to the point where they lose their scruples, right?
Scruples.
Yeah, but yeah, it just goes to show like who's in power, because they think they're the real, you know, they're the real Israelites, but the real Israelites are prophesied to be on the bottom of the society, not at the top.
Job 9:24, the earth is given to the hand of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he?
Right. So on top of that, from what Esau has done from the beginning of after the Middle Ages began to fall, so like from like the 1500s up until today, he's covered up the different faces of the different judges, and one of the top judges he covered up was Yahushai, right? The angels. When you go to different places in like Europe, for example, a lot of those paintings have been painted over, that promotes a very perverse spirit, that promotes him as God, right? Because he has a God complex. As a matter of fact, people like what's this guy's name, Noah Harari, they want to try and they want to do away with God and think that they want to do things like what was that thing he said? He said he wants to beat death, essentially. Yeah. So things like that, So these people are wicked, and these people are not really for you. They don't actually want to help Kyrie at all. They want to keep him in a very docile, subjective. Is it subjective? No. A very subjection state, so to speak. Yeah, can't the water.
Yeah, right? They're just trying to show their power. the Jewish people are trying to show the power of the guys that own everything.
Yeah, but they don't realize, what you. The criticism that they're making, you just proved them right at the same time.
Show that you just brought out your power and just you showed your tongue, you showed your hand.
Exactly. Actually, I have a precept on that. 1 second. Because apparently now the film that he was trying to promote is trending now on Amazon.
Because now everyone wants to see what they're talking about. They're like, oh, so what is this that they're getting so hyped up over? Because if it was nothing, they would have just brushed it under the rug.
Exactly.
But they tried to scramble and put out a fire that wasn't really there.
Right, exactly. And now they made such a big deal about it. You actually just proved the point, right? So this is Job 12:16. With him is strength and wisdom. The deceived and the deceiver are his, right? So it seems like they were trying to push. They realize that the Heavenly Father is still controlling both sides. They think that they're doing something to shun the narrative, but they realize when you're shunning it, you're just exposing more at the same time, right? So these so-called Jewish people, they're the ones in the trick bag, right?
Because he had but a short time, right?
Con Revelation 12:12.
That's what they're freaking out. They're like, whoa, yeah, this is coming out with the skirt's being lifted.
Exactly, they're being exposed, right? You have another script because I got.
Give me that one first.
Okay. Let's see here. But did you finish reading the article, or you're?
Oh, that was essentially.
it. Okay then.
Just a bit. Because I went over the things that they wanted to do, so that's pretty much the end of the article.
Yeah. So what you see now is this and another point we wanted to bring out was the fact that, these Israelites, regardless of their positions in society, you're still a slave, right? You're still a slave. Like, he has a lot of money. He's very talented, right? But we're still in captivity. We're still in prison.
People think because they see them having all these nice things, cars, house, and stuff, they're like, oh, they must be living nice. They have so much freedom. They can do whatever they want. Mm-hmm. But they don't realize that they have to sell their soul. They have to do all these things.
I have a precept on that if you got one or.
Well, in the meantime, we're just bringing out Psalm 55 and 21. Mm-hmm. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords.
Khan, exactly.
Those are those.
Khan,
That's Esau and the Jewish people. That's all of them. That's all those
yeah,
so-called higher ups.
Khan.
They make it sound like as if they're doing good, but they're not.
Exactly. They don't have a righteous intent for
Khan.
Kyrie at all. Really, what they want to do is just silence him and shun him.
Khan.
Right. So that's that's the war in their heart, in their mind. Right. And the rest of us too.
Khan. Those are the swords that were drawn. They're showing people.
Mm-hmm.
They're showing people if you try to step out of line and tell people who we really are, then we're going to kill you essentially.
Exactly.
Or put you in line.
Yeah, because they wanted what they want to do with Kyrie. They're trying to make him. They're trying to publicly flog him to make an example. Like, okay, you stay in line, right? But back to the point about selling out. This is Luke 6:24. But so Yahushua said, "But woe unto you that are rich, for ye have received your consolation. Woe unto you that are full, for ye shall hunger. Woe unto you that laugh now, for ye shall mourn and weep." Right? So that speaks to a lot of these Israelites that a lot of these Drakes are in these high positions, right? That kind of tuck in their nuts, so to speak, like Shaq and what's this guy's name? LeBron.
Barkley.
Exactly. Oh, yes, him too, because there was a video of him that surfaced of him wearing a dress.
And Shaq.
And
proudly do these smiles on their face and
Khan, right? So that's so woe unto them, these guys have to go, right? And because a lot of them have sold out, for characters like what's this guy's name? Shaq and LeBron, for example, they're part of that secret society known as the Boule, right? And they are the gatekeepers for a lot of these so-called small hats that you see, well, small hats, so to speak, right? And the purpose of them is to keep the truth shunned, right?
Yeah, because you can pretty much tell they're reading from a script. They're all saying essentially the same thing.
Khan.
I can't believe he said that. That's outrageous. He needs to know his place.
Exactly. And
he's speaking hate.
Khan. And the primary reason that they're doing that is because they're trying to protect their prestige, and with the money that they have, the jobs that they have, and so on and so forth, right? They're trying to protect, those assets that they have today, right? So what they do is that they become these gatekeepers for these small hats, and then when they realize that, you're speaking against the narrative, they play a certain position, right? But, like the scripture says, woe unto them, right? So they're going to have their share of destruction.
And that's because they think that they're going to survive, because the small hats convince them that they are the true ones that are going to live, or they're going to live through destruction, or that are going to destroy everything and make them survive. So they think that they're part of the elite that's going to survive all of the destruction that they're going to try to bring. Little do they know they're just hastening their death.
Yeah, they're just digging their own grave.
They're putting their names on the list, and even if they hide in those bunkers, that's what the elect is going to go after when we get our powers.
Right, Lord willing would be at that number, right? So like, but let me see if I got another script, because it's like so many things going on right now, and it's like it's just bringing a lot of it's like the Lord, like the Heavenly Father is like stirring up the pot, so to speak. So I've got hang on. So this is 2 Corinthians 10 verse 3, points in 4. Oh, Salaki 5. For though we walk in the flesh, we do not war after the flesh. For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty through the Most High Yahweh, B'Shem Yahushai, to the pulling down of strongholds. And this is a stronghold, right? That's continuously on our people, because our people are still in this mindset that we're still Black, we're still Hispanic or Native American, and all these different names, and they don't know who they are, and they don't know their customs, and so on and so forth. Right? And this is just a little bit of the truth that the Heavenly Father is using these celebrities to bring out. Even though majority of the truth resides with, the apostles and the elders on down, right? That from what they bestowed and taught to us, right? Casting down imaginations and every high thing that exalted itself against the knowledge of the Most High, and bringing into captivity every thought to the obedience of Hamashiach, right? So these are the things that we're fighting against, right? And the Heavenly Father is using Kyrie to bring out that truth and pull down those strongholds, so to speak, because they're not the real people of the Most High, right? So
they just try to steal identity. Everything they just turn upside down.
gone.
And that goes back to what we were talking about in another video. They make everything reverse.
Gone. Like these people. Kosher pork is an example of that. Like, I don't know how you get that. And then there was another thing they did, when they were accused of not owning everything and not having a lot of money and stuff like that. What did they do? They went to one of the NBA games, and they bought courtside seats. Like, not a lot of Jakes can afford, like regular Jakes, like working class Jakes can't afford courtside seats, right? So you're just proving the point, right? But Heavenly Father is just using you, even though you think you're doing something. Heavenly Father is using you, and it's still bringing out the truth at the same time, right? Based on your actions, because you think you're covering out the truth, but you're still revealing it at the same time.
Just one of the chess pieces in this game.
Yeah, exactly. You're just a chess piece, man. You're just a chess piece. But hopefully that was edifying, and just like to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Makakadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone for teaching us truth. Till next time, we say Shalom.
Shalom.